So I want to transition because I did mention Alcaraz. Uh, First of all, let's shout out the winner. Diaz Acosta had won 2 ATP matches ever, and then wins a tour event in his hometown in Buenos Aires. Like, how cool is tennis? Because that stuff happens like all the time. It's so cool. Jari had a great week with the win over Alcaraz. I think the overriding story coming out of that, outside of the Buenos Aires of things and Diaz Acosta, is Alcaraz, and he played, I thought, two pretty ordinary matches that he won. Weird errors at times, trying different things, going in and out of strategies. It felt like it was searching a little bit, and then Jari kind of just took it to him, and he took an uncharacteristic loss. Okay, and you go on. I'm reading comments, and it's Sinner's never going to lose again, and
Right.
Alcaraz isn't what we thought. And I just think all of that commentary, Sinner is Sinner. We've already covered him. He is awesome, but because he's playing well doesn't mean that Alcaraz is never going to play great again. Like, it's kind of dumb to look at his resume and then freak out over a loss somewhere, first match on a surface, and coming up on what, 9 months or something. But also, I think the macro conversation is with the big three, with Serena, we feel entitled to peak performance all of the time for decades at a time. And that's not real life. They made it their real life, but that's not the expectation set going forward. I remember I was at the US Open 2 years ago before Alcaraz had won a major, but there was a lot of hype around him. And I'd be doing these, corporate suite visits that we do together up there sometimes where you're running through it. It's like, well, is Alcaraz going to win 10 majors? I'm like, he hasn't won a single major yet. And you're putting him ahead of names like Agassi, Lendl, McEnroe, Connors, Becker, Edberg. So I think the reality with which we approach conversations is, or the
Yeah.
lack of reality is insane. Like, he's allowed to work, he's allowed to play well sometimes and then play badly 6 months later. It happens.
I would say, Djokovic has won more majors than Andre and Pete put together. I mean, I would
It's
say kids
absurd.
are going to be like, he wasn't that good. He didn't win double digit majors.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, we need to we need to recalibrate. The irony with Alcaraz is, even so, even with this swoon, the guy's still going to be 21 in a couple months, and he's already got two. I mean, the guy could retire tomorrow, and he's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I
Easy.
think we're all going to have to recalibrate and realize that with the trajectory of Alcaraz is much more reasonable. It's Roger, Rafa, Novak. They're the outliers, not the guy, not Medvedev, not the guys who win a major, lose in a final. Go. I mean, that's much more. That's much more normal than guys winning three majors a year, multiple years.
Yeah, I worry about a lot of things in my life. Uh, I don't worry about Alcaraz on the heels of a loss in Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires very,
Right.
very, very often. That's not something that keeps me up at night or that I worry about. He will be just fine. He is a stud. Has not played great so far this year. There are some things that I'm sure his team is very concerned about. And also, they know when you look back 12 years from now, the guy will have had, he will be one of the names on the short list, top 10 all time greats. And that should be respected. Like, we
Yeah.
can't just not respect anyone because they're not Roger Rafa or Novak or Serena.
Yeah, and even with those players, I mean, Serena won the U.S. Open in '99. It took her a few years to get back on the board. Novak won the Australian Open in 2008. He didn't win another major for 3 years. Even if these crazy historical comparisons are probably not advisable long term, even the big four, even the three guys and Serena had their lapses. So yeah, to win multiple majors before you turn 21, you're going to be okay.